Hi everyone, Emily with Flora by Emily Jane here once again, ready to show you guys a tutorial on one of my newer templates. I've been using this one personally for probably 3 months now, but I have not uploaded on my Etsy shop, so that's why I wanted to create this video so I can have the video ready for you guys to use when you purchase your templates, because I'm going to upload them onto Etsy very shortly. And so you can use this video to help guide you when you're making your paper flowers. And right now my PDF templates are $12 each. I'll probably run a sale once they're all uploaded on Etsy, so hopefully this upcoming weekend I'll have those all done. So I'm going to make this flower for you guys today. This is not the flower, this is just another one I have made already. So I'm going to show you on this medium pink paper. This paper I believe is from Joann's in one of their packs. I don't think it's in the Michaels pack, but I'm honestly not 100% sure. As soon as I buy them, I take them out of the pack and I put them on my bookshelf. So this feels like the Joann's paper. So hopefully I know what I'm talking about. But right now, it's the first week of April through the 11th. The packs at Joann's are I think they're $2 each. 5 for $10, I think they are. All right, so this template is probably going to make a 20-inch flower. And there are 4 petal sizes, and I cut out 6 petals of each size. So first I'm going to start with my largest petal, and I trace this, and this I just do 3 sheets, set them to the side. Three sheets again. And then for my second petal, the second largest one, actually I do it this way. I've just put it off to the side. And then I take the smallest petal and I go sideways. I try to use the paper the most efficiently so I don't waste a lot or use more than I need. So this I'm gonna take 3 pieces as well, and then do the same exact thing. The second to largest, going long ways, and then the smallest petal in the top corner. All right, so 3 more. And then I set those 2 aside because I'm done. And then this is my second smallest petal, and I just do them right next to each other. And then I only need 3 sheets of this. And then I will need a base too, so I'll cut my base. I usually have some pre-cut just from scraps. I don't have one next to me. For my bases, I don't do anything special for them. I don't make sure that they're a certain size. I just eyeball them. I see this question a lot. I just eyeball them. It's really just a trial and error thing. It just takes some time to get used to how large your base is going to need to be for how many petals you have. So next I'm just going to cut them all out. Organize them by size. So I usually start with the largest petals, and then I actually flip them over, and then I cut a slit down the center of the petals, and this is going to be, this is what's going to give your petal, or your petals this shape, so they stick out and they're not just laying flat. So I turned it over, and then I'm going to cut right down the center. I do a little more than halfway. I used to do them like only down to here, and over the months that I've been making them, I just decided that I liked this more flat look rather than the petals being like super high up. I like them more flattened out. So I'm going to cut all the slits on them. So there you go. All of my petals have the slits, and now I'm going to separate them again by threes, and I'm going to take a glue stick. I only have thin ones right now. I did have a couple of the thicker glue sticks that I was using to shape the petals, but I can't find them, and I don't use that size anymore, so I don't have any on me. So this is going to be my first time making this template with this size glue stick. So we'll see how it works. I'm hoping that it won't be too creased. It's not that bad. Not my favorite. I recommend using, okay, that was better. I recommend using the thicker glue stick still. And this is a lot harder too, surprisingly. Okay, so then once I get all of them, the one size petals, all six, I'm gonna go and shape them together, just so, because they were shaped separately, because it's really hard to shape all 6 pieces at the same time. I just do them together to make sure that they are uniform. And then for these ones, I also bend them down the center a little bit just to make a crease. This will also, it'll give it a different look when you're gluing them together too, but also it'll help glue them together. It'll help you when you glue them together. I'm going to grab 3 again and then shape it. Alright. See how that one's different on each side? That's why I'm going to shape them together. Okay. Do the same thing. And just shape them together. And then fold them. And while I'm doing this, I also have my hot glue gun warming up over here. As you can see, I use the small $4 guns from, oh, it's so old, from Michael's, the Art Minds one. And then these are the glue sticks that I use. I also use the Art Minds glue sticks. So this pack is $10, but I usually always use either the 40 or 50% off coupon. And then this gun is only $4. And I have a more expensive gun, but I honestly prefer to use the smaller one, especially for just flowers. Like when I'm building a whole giant wall, I prefer to have the bigger guns because you use a lot more glue for those. So I like to use the larger one that I have, but for just stuff like this, I mean, I don't really see the point. I just feel like I use more glue than I need to with a small flower like this, using those giant glue guns. So I use a mini one. I haven't had any problems with it, because I know that, I don't know if this is true or if people have either made this up or they heard something, but I've heard a couple people say that these guns have caught on fire, which I know is really scary. But before I knew that, when we lived back in our old apartment, I had actually left my gun on a couple times throughout the entire night, or like throughout the entire day after I'd left. And nothing like that happened, thank goodness. And then after I found out about that, I make sure, I obviously double check to make sure that it's unplugged. And every time I walk by, even if I'm not making flowers that day, I always touch it just to make sure that it's off. Because how bad would that be? Oh my gosh. So I haven't heard anything personally, but I've heard other people say stuff like that. Alright, so now I have all 4 petals, petal sizes, shaped, folded, and cut. So now I'm going to glue them. And like I said, I'm going to use my $4 glue gun and my $10 bag of glue. And alright, so I'm going to take my first petal and I just do a line of glue and then I fold it over. And then I like kind of notice how much of a space there is between this petal and the folded over petal. And then I'm just going to try to mimic that on all the other petals so they all are the same shape and folded the same way, or else the petals will, each of the petals will lay differently, which would be weird. So I'm just going to glue all of these. Alright, those 6. And then I'm going to take my next size and I'm going to do the same exact thing. Fold them over. So I'm actually making this color because I have an event this weekend that's going to be Kate Spade themed. So I have a couple light pink, I have this medium pink, and then I need to go to the store and grab some hot pink and then some gold too. Alright, on to my next size. Okay, so I did all of those. So now I just have the one more size. And I just recently started putting the crease down the center because the way these petals fold, they like wouldn't crease right for me. So I started, they wouldn't fold over right for me. So I started creasing them. You don't have to if you really don't like the look. even though I can't personally really tell a difference too much once they're folded over. So you don't have to add the crease down the center, or if you want a more defined crease, you can definitely fold them all the way over. I just prefer this look where it's not too much, but it makes it easier to put together. Alright, so I have all my petals put together, and now I'm going to start assembling it. So I take my largest size petal, and then I'm going to take one of the bases that I cut earlier, and I take 2 petals at a time. Sometimes I take 3. If you're just starting out, I would probably do 1 at a time. So I'll do the first layer like that, just to show you. And then I'll show you how I do it when I'm trying to save time. I have to do a lot of flowers in one night. So I'm going to take the back of this petal, and then I'm going to take my glue gun, and I make an L with the glue, and then I just place it so the glue doesn't overlap the base, and the base is still going to be like sturdy enough to hold all the petals. So don't put it too high up here, because then it won't be sturdy enough. So I just go in a little ways, and then I do the same thing, but here I do the whole bottom of the base of the petal. And then I do this for all the rest of them. The first one, you do it that way just so, I'll show you in a second why I do it that way. Because I like the look of doing it this way better. So then just make that bracket. Adjustments. So for my last petal, I'm going to do the same thing and make the full bracket, and I'm actually going to lift this petal up where I didn't glue, and then I place it underneath so it looks just like all the other ones, and I don't just set the last petal on top, and then I glue that one down too, and then there's the base of your first layer of petals. And like I said, you can't really see the crease that I made anyway, so it's really just to help you. So now I'm going to do 2 at a time, and I take the first one and the second one, and the first one I do an L again, and the second one I do a bracket. So I place it in between the 2 petals, so it's like a tapered look. Make a bracket on both of these. Tapered look. Alright, and then for my last petal, I do the same thing. I lift it, and then I put it under there, and then lift and glue so it stays. And then my second to last petals, same thing. I do the L, and then the bracket. And this is really just a lot of trial and error, honestly. I mean, I've been doing this for a year now, and this flower, this is nothing like my old flowers used to look. I mean, they were rough. They were rough. They did not look this polished. At least I think they look polished. I love the way my flowers look now, but when I first started, I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh. Alright, so my last 2 petals, lift, place, and then lift and glue. Removing glue strings. And then just because I want to show off, I'm going to do 3 petals at a time for this one. So I do the L first, and then I do the brackets. And I do the same thing. do, actually I need more glue. The same thing, but all three are just gonna have the full bracket of glue. And I place it down, lift, stick it under there, and then lift and glue. And that is my Eleanor template. Oh, it's so pretty and it's so big. It's such a large flower. So this is it. A little different. I like that these are such statement flowers. So this is really like, you don't need to make your full wall. Like this isn't a flower that I would make a full backdrop out of just because it is so large. So I would make a couple of these and then a couple medium ones, so where it's only just like these 3 layers. And then I would add a bunch of filler flowers and the smaller ones and the leaves. So these are like statement flowers in my opinion because these are so large compared to some of the other small ones.